Now that I look back on this story, it is actually quite funny how the universe wanted to just get my attention and test me throughout the entire day. You see, back when we returned from the big lockdown that was happening in early 2021, we still needed to wear face masks to school, and especially when we were eating. I mean, like, of course, when we grabbed the food in the cafeteria and we sat down with our soup and with the second dish, of course we could put it down for like 10 minutes until we were finished and we were allowed to go home. But in my case, our cafeteria was like 3 minutes away from our school. So every time my education ended, I always just went down. This was during the days of my primary school days. So yeah, I went down to my changing room, I put down my backpack in there, and I went off over there. So I waited for the food, I got it, and as usual, I finished. When I sat down with it, I put down my face mask, I enjoyed the meal. I don't remember exactly what I had on that day, but I'm pretty sure it was delicious, since they used to cook very well back then. And so, yeah, I went on to put on my face mask once again, and the way that I put it on was that I grabbed, both of the ends of the face mask, so like the two two plastic ropes or whatever they were, basically these like stretchy things with both of my hands. I was gonna put them on. And so I was not doing them uh both of them at the same time. I was doing them one at the same time. So I put, for example, my the the right one on my right ear for the first time and then the second one right afterwards. And so as I was putting it on, I slightly slipped. As I put up my right hand a little slowly upwards, I accidentally let go of the left side, and oh boy, literally like a sharpened blade, the entire face mask literally cut through my eye, and oh boy, was I in shock. Like literally, I it was like I power boosted that face mask, and with the top, like uh where the part that you're supposed to put on your nose, like the entire thing, the entire surface area of the upper part, literally like sliced through my eye like a blade, like you see in the movies. Of course, it wasn't anything severe. I could still see, don't get me wrong. And thankfully, nothing happened to my eyesight in the long term. But oh boy, was it a huge ass shock. I literally, of course, I didn't panic. I didn't do anything since I just felt like everything was okay. I didn't do anything. I just thought to myself, yeah, it's probably bad now, but I know I will make it out. It is just a face mask. Like, what am I supposed to do? It is not a knife or anything. So I just remained stoic even back then with my 14-year-old bad mental health. I put on the face mask and I was off to go. And like 1 minute through, the walk from my cafeteria back to my school where my backpack was, I was tearing up. Not from the pain or anything or because I was sad. I could see completely normally, even with the pain, so everything was fine. But dude, my right eye that I hit with my face mask, it started completely tearing up. Of course, it was like crying level, but it was basically like seeable level, like if I was starting to tear up from like cutting onions or something like that. Yeah, of course, no one saw me, and no one even made fun of me, which is a plus. And even if they did, fuck them, honestly. Like, yeah, what am I supposed to do about that? And so yeah, as I slowly made my way to my house, after like 3 minutes of walking, it finally stopped. I grabbed my right hand and I slowly rubbed it against my right eye to clean it off of all of the different tears that I had at that time. And finally, the pain stopped and I was completely free. Back then, I could have made a huge fuss about it. Back then, my mental health wasn't really the best, right? I was known as a crybaby when I was 8 years old in my class, and even back then, I was still scrolling on YouTube all day. I was playing video games all day, and yeah, I wasn't very confident either. So, like, so many people on that day would have been like crying their eyes out, they would have been calling for help. But I did none of those things. Not because not because I'm some kind of a freak that doesn't feel any pain or something like that, just because I'm some kind of a monster, but because I just knew that I was going to be fine. You know, the second that the face mask hit my right eye, I knew that it wasn't anything severe, but like the shock that came from it, that is what puts the 99% in their place. That's what makes them panic. And I didn't do a single reaction. None. I just sat there and I continued to say to myself that I know that everything will be fine. And I just grabbed the plate, the place that I just ate from, put them, in their place to get cleaned, and I just went off with the rest of my day. And I was completely happy with that day. And it was even funny. Yeah, it is a great life lesson to look back on. Never act fast. That is a life lesson that you should take from this story. But there is also another one that you always need to remember. You need to believe that everything will be fine, and it just will. Think about it. Whenever you start complaining, whenever you start whining, whenever you start doing any one of these submissive tactics, then you're basically telling the universe that you have no control over your reality. And oh boy, when you say that to the universe, it will make you its bitch, quite literally. And I'm sorry that I just said a swear word, but that's just how it goes. It will literally make you its bitch. And it will make you know it to the fullest. It will start using people. It will start using more of your surroundings to keep you in that place. So good job for not overreacting, because that is exactly the right thing that you must have done. Each and every single time you're faced with this life test or any one of these difficult times that is brought upon you, whether it is anything severe or not severe, you must build up your discipline to always just stop on that place, to always just not react and not judge your surroundings, but just to observe them for minutes even until you don't feel anything towards that towards that terrifying or hard time that you're just facing. Whenever all of that shock goes completely neutral, whenever your will to start complaining, or whenever just your pain, no, not your pain, just basically like whenever all of your emotions just become neutral and you're just sitting there, just always ask yourself, what would the best version of myself do in this situation? The best version of myself that already has all of his life goals completed. Well, he would shut the fuck up, right? And he would even subconsciously say to himself out loud that I know that I will recover from this. What is what is out there that he hasn't recovered from, right? He has failed like 8 businesses, but now the ninth one got so successful that he doesn't need to work for 3 generations anymore. He has literally been rejected hundreds of times before, but now he doesn't even need to improve his social intelligence anymore, and yet he still does, because that's just how much of a gigachad he is. He exercises each and every single day, not just his muscles, not just his discipline, his productivity, his resiliency, his focusness, his mindfulness, but also his organs like his hearing, his eye, his taste, and all of these senses. Like, god damn it, he's so strong. He's he's literally overpowered. So what is there that he cannot overcome? But of course, if you may ask yourself right now, but Yar, why can I just jump from one conclusion to the other? Well, why cannot just I, in the moment that it happens to me, think like the best possible version of myself? Well, my timeless reader, you will literally make your frequency all over the place, and you will not send out clear signals to the universe of what reality you actually want to live in. You will literally confuse it as if you're texting a girl and you're trying to raise her up with like 50 different tactics that aren't working in your favor. You need to slow down, because all of the time you don't even subconsciously have the energy to go from this one place all the way to the other. You just need to wait a little bit to make it into the halfway point where you don't feel anything. Because a lot of the time you will try to cancel out the first initial shock, the first initial negative emotion with a strong, huge emotion on the other side. But let me tell you, what works better? Rather, if you just wait out until the negative emotions are neutralized, and then you can influence them and convert them, the neutral emotions, into positive emotions? Or would you rather make these two fight, and then in the end you will be left in a neutral state that is even most of the time just slowly but surely leaned, like just a little bit to the negative side? You need to slow down. You need to know that everything will be fine, and you need to let those emotions marinate until they slowly go away, because there's nothing bad as because there's nothing worse than if you had thoughts that don't serve you in your subconscious mind. Because whenever you don't solve these, whenever you just think like the best possible version of yourself and you don't let these emotions go away slowly, if you don't believe that you can make it, then all of this negativity that you try to counteract with your positive emotions, with the thoughts of how the best possible version of myself handle this situation, will get put at the back of your mind. But this time, when you just slowly wait until they are finally gone, and this can take minutes, it can take you even a whole hour probably. If you let them neutralize, it will become way better, because that negative energy will slowly but surely go away, and the universe will handle it for you. And then you can fill yourself up with those positive visualizations that will keep you going. Okay? But the main point of this video is to make you realize that you are always in control. You must always think to yourself that even after you do all of this and you fill yourself with the positive emotions, that you must believe that everything will be fine. Nothing is unfixable in this universe. Even if you have literal cancer, there are people out there who, like, there was this 70-year-old guy who was diagnosed with cancer, and guess what he did? He moved from the United States of America into Greece, his country where he came from, where he was born, and he lived there for so long. They gave him like 1 year to live, and guess what he did? He basically ate foods with olive oil every single day. He talked to all of the positive people in there that filled him with positive energy each and every single day. He literally went out to swim each and every single day, and guess what? He lived for a whole decade afterwards. And I believe that he even lived for more. And then when he came back to check up after a whole decade on his doctors, all of the doctors were dead, but he was still alive. Your mindset will truly save you from everything. If you just believe that everything will be fine, and you change your surroundings to be aligned with the best possible version of yourself that you can become in this life, then everything will be possible for you. Literally anything. So just let these negative emotions away when all these negative things come your way in the future. And just remember that you're always in control of your reality. And the universe just wants a reaction out of you. Like, that's it. If you just believe that you can overcome it, and you can just wait it out until all of the pain goes away, and then you can fill yourself with positive emotions, bro, you have won. And you've made the universe your bitch right now. That's just how it goes. And I'm really proud of you the next time that you do it. So practically implement this knowledge into your daily life, discipline yourself to do this, and don't react to it. And respond as the best possible version of yourself that you can become in this life. Okay? If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bring you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the life tests, no matter the goal, then I highly suggest that you should go check out Timeless Readers Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life-changing, and you would be an absolute fool to miss out, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you